You don't have time? You don't have priorities. That's the truth nobody wants to admit. That's the sentence people run from. That's the mirror they avoid looking into. Every day you hear it. I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to build my dream. I don't have time to call my parents. I don't have time to write that book. And the crowd nods, because everyone is repeating the same lie. But here's the reality: you had the same 24 hours as everyone else. You had the same minutes as the people you admire. And you spent them on something. Always. The issue is never time. The issue is always priorities. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. Repeat it. Feel it. Let it cut through your excuses. Most people live inside the myth that time is something outside them. That it's given or taken. That it's stolen by traffic, by bosses, by circumstances. But time was never stolen. It was traded. You traded it for scrolling. You traded it for comfort. You traded it for avoidance. And every trade revealed your true priorities. Pause. Let that sink in. Not what you say you value. Not what you dream of achieving. But what you actually choose, day after day. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. This is not about shaming you. This is about waking you up. Because your life is slipping, second by second, into choices that don't align with who you want to be. And the clock does not negotiate. It does not pause to ask if you're ready. It does not wait until you feel motivated. Time is the most brutal teacher. It reveals priorities with perfect accuracy. And here is the first quotable line: your calendar is your character. What you put there is who you are. What you put there is what you will become. And if your calendar is filled with noise, distraction, procrastination, don't be surprised when your future looks like that calendar. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. Most people think they're victims of time. They say, if only I had more hours. But that's a lie. Give a procrastinator 48 hours a day, and they'll waste 47. Give a focused person 12 hours a day, and they'll build an empire. It was never about hours. It was about direction. You know this. Deep down, you know it. When you wanted something desperately, truly desperately, you found the time. You skipped sleep. You rearranged schedules. You said no to distractions. And suddenly time appeared. Why? Because priorities create time. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. Think about history. Great leaders, inventors, artists, they all had the same 24 hours. Leonardo da Vinci, Marie Curie, Martin Luther King Jr. They didn't receive bonus hours. They didn't discover a secret calendar. They simply made priorities sharper than their fears. Every breakthrough, every masterpiece, every revolution was carved out of the same day you just scrolled through. And that truth burns. But it also liberates. Because it means nothing separates you except decisions. Decisions about priorities. Here's the second quotable line: if it matters, you'll make time. If it doesn't, you'll make excuses. That's the dividing line. That's the brutal filter that exposes all lies. And you already know which side you've been living on. So let's break the myths. Myth number 1, I don't have time. Reality, you have time, but you don't have clarity. Myth number 2, I'm too busy. Reality, you're busy with the wrong things. Myth number 3, one day I'll start. Reality, one day never comes. Only today exists. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. Let me ask you, why is there always time for Netflix, but not for reading? Why is there always time for gossip, but not for gratitude? Why is there always time for comfort, but not for courage? It's not about the clock. It's about your compass. And if your compass is broken, you'll wander forever. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. This refrain is the key. Say it until it echoes. Because once you truly believe it, excuses evaporate. And that's when life begins. Most people drift. They let time happen to them. They survive days instead of designing them. But then there's that person. The one who acts differently. The one who sets priorities so strong they cut through noise like a sword. The one who treats every hour as sacred. And you can become that person. Because here's the third quotable line, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is not talent, it's priorities. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. Think about the times you felt alive. When you pushed limits. When you showed discipline. When you made a hard choice that paid off. Those were not random moments. They were priority-driven moments. And the tragedy is that most people taste that power once in a while, but never decide to live there permanently. They retreat. They go back to average. Because average is comfortable. Because average requires no fight. But average kills. Slowly. Silently. Average makes your dreams rot while you smile politely. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. This is not about working every second. It's about aligning every second. When your time matches your values, you feel energy. When it doesn't, you feel guilt. And guilt grows into regret. And here is the fourth quotable line, regret is the receipt for wasted priorities. Every time you say, I don't have time, you're printing that receipt. Every excuse becomes a debt. And that debt is collected when you're older, when it's too late to change. So why wait? Why delay? Why pretend? You don't have time? You don't have priorities. Most people want miracles without making room for them. They want transformation without transaction. But life does not work like that. To gain, you must give. To rise, you must sacrifice. To change, you must reorder your priorities. And that begins today. Imagine this, two people wake up at the same time. One spends the first hour on their phone. The other spends the first hour building, learning, moving. Fast forward 5 years. One is stuck. The other is unstoppable. What made the difference? Priorities. And here's the fifth quotable line, show me your morning, and I'll show you your future. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. Listen. Time is not running out. It's already gone. The moment you read this, another second disappeared. Another chance slipped. Another choice vanished. The only question is, what will you do with the next one? Because your future is written in minutes, not miracles. And every minute you waste is one less chance to become the person you were meant to be. You don't have time? You don't have priority. Most people waste years waiting for the perfect moment. That person creates the moment. Most people wait for motivation. That person builds discipline. Most people make excuses. That person makes priorities. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. The gap between average and great is not talent. It is not luck. It is not even intelligence. The gap is priorities. Who you answer to. What you say yes to. What you are willing to say no to. Most people say yes to everything except their own dream. They say yes to every distraction, every demand, every fake emergency. And in saying yes to the world, they say no to themselves. That person is different. That person knows how to say no. That person protects their hours like treasure. That person does not waste the currency of life on things that bring no return. Let me tell you a story. A man once said he had no time to work out. He was busy, always busy, meetings stacked, phone buzzing. Then he had a heart attack at 42. Suddenly he had all the time in the world, for hospitals, for medicine, for regret. The body he ignored became the prison he lived in. His priorities screamed back at him. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. Another story. A woman dreamed of writing a book. Every year she said, next year I'll start. She waited for inspiration. She waited for free weekends. She waited for silence. 10 years passed. The book remained unwritten. Then one day she set her alarm 1 hour earlier. She wrote in the dark before work. Page by page, year by year, she finished. The book was published. People called her talented. She wasn't more talented. She just changed priorities. And that made all the difference. Here's a quotable line: discipline is love in action. You love your future enough to fight for it today. Most people live by feelings. If they feel like working, they work. If they feel like skipping, they skip. If they feel tired, they rest. If they feel distracted, they scroll. Feelings become their master. But that person, the one who rises, does not wait for feelings. That person builds discipline. That person knows discipline creates feelings, not the other way around. Action creates motivation. Movement creates energy. Progress creates passion. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. Let me paint another picture. Two students in the same class. One says, I don't have time to study, I'm too busy. The other says, I will study 1 hour each day, no matter what. Exam day comes. One is nervous, panicked, lost. The other is calm, prepared, confident. Same school. Same teacher. Same time. Different priorities. Different destiny. Most people confuse urgency with importance. They run after notifications. They answer every ping, every ring, every knock. They are slaves to noise. That person chooses signal over noise. That person knows not every knock deserves an open door. That person knows most things can wait, but their dream cannot. Here's another quotable line: if everything is urgent, nothing is important. Most people fear failure. They let fear decide their calendar. They delay decisions, hide behind excuses. Fear eats their hours. But that person uses fear as a compass. That person feels fear and steps closer, not further. That person knows courage is not the absence of fear, but action in spite of it. Fear wasted is paralysis. Fear used is progress. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. Another story. A young man wanted to start a business. For years he told his friends, "I don't have time." He said his job was too demanding. He said the risk was too big. Then one day his company fired him. Suddenly he had time. Suddenly he had no choice. He built the business anyway. If only he had started earlier, when he still had a paycheck, the road would have been smoother. Time was always there. Priorities were not. Most people want consistency, but they chase intensity. They want one big day instead of many small days. They want a miracle instead of a method. They sprint once, then collapse. That person knows the secret is consistency. That person builds brick by brick, day by day. That person understands that one brick a day builds a castle. Here's a quotable line: success is not built in hours, it is built in habits. Most people think short term. They want comfort now. They want results now. They want applause now. That person thinks long term. That person plays the infinite game. That person sacrifices comfort now for strength later. That person delays gratification. And the future bows to that patience. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. Another story. A poor student wanted to be a doctor. Everyone told her it was impossible. Too much study. Too many years. She could barely afford rent. But she decided her priority was not excuses, but education. She studied late nights, worked part-time, sacrificed weekends. 10 years later she became the doctor she dreamed of. People said, "You're lucky." She wasn't lucky. She was focused. Priorities built her future. Most people live to serve themselves. That person lives to serve others. Because when you serve only yourself, you shrink. But when you serve others, your life expands. Service creates meaning. And meaning fuels endurance. When life gets hard, comfort won't keep you moving. Only purpose will. Here's another quotable line: when you live for yourself, you run out of fuel. When you live for others, you become unstoppable. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. Let me give you a truth. Every yes is a no to something else. Every hour you give away, you sacrifice from your dream. And if you don't choose, the world will choose for you. That's why most people live someone else's life. Their priorities were borrowed. Their time was stolen because they never claimed it. That person, the one who rises, knows how to guard their yes. That person knows how to defend their hours like soldiers. That person fights for their future, one decision at a time. Most people treat life like a rehearsal. They act as if they will start living tomorrow. That person knows there is no rehearsal. This is the show. This is the only stage you will ever stand on. And every second is live. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. Another story. A man said he would travel the world when he retired. He worked long hours, always saying, "one day." But when retirement came, his body was too weak. The dream was gone. He lived with regret. Regret is the shadow of misaligned priorities. And that shadow never leaves. Most people fear saying no because they want to please everyone. That person knows saying no is the highest form of self-respect. That person knows no is not rejection, but protection. And when you protect your time, you protect your future. Here's another quotable line: every no to distraction is a yes to destiny. Most people waste life waiting for permission. Permission from parents. Permission from friends. Permission from society. That person knows no one will ever give permission. That person gives it to themselves. And that's why they rise. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. So look at your life right now. Look at yesterday. Where did your hours go? That is your truth. Not your dreams. Not your words. Your hours. If you want a different future, reorder your hours. Reorder your priorities. Reorder your life. Because here's the final quotable line of this section: the clock will not change for you. You must change for the clock. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. And this is the moment you must decide. Because life is not waiting. Life is not slowing down. Life is not pausing until you feel ready. The clock does not care about your feelings. The calendar does not bend to your excuses. Seconds keep falling, one after another, like sand you cannot hold. And every grain you lose is gone forever. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. Most people will finish this speech and go back to the same routine. They will nod. They will feel inspired. And then they will open their phone, scroll again, and waste the next hour. Inspiration without decision is just entertainment. Motivation without action is just noise. Don't be most people. Be that person. That person who hears the truth and changes. That person who hears the fire and acts. That person who draws a line in the sand and says, no more. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. Listen. This is not about doing everything. This is about doing what matters. This is not about being busy. This is about being effective. This is not about adding more to your day. This is about cutting what doesn't belong. Time is not multiplied by adding. Time is multiplied by subtracting. Cut the noise. Cut the lies. Cut the distractions. Leave only the essentials. Leave only the things that build your destiny. Most people die full of potential. Full of songs never sung. Full of books never written. Full of businesses never started. Full of love never spoken. They thought they had time. But time had them. Don't be most people. Don't let the graveyard get your dream. Don't let regret write your story. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. Do you want to know the most dangerous word in the world? Tomorrow. Tomorrow kills more dreams than failure ever could. Tomorrow whispers comfort while stealing your life. Tomorrow is the shield of the weak, the crutch of the lazy, the drug of the fearful. Tomorrow does not exist. Only today does. Only now. Only this breath. Be honest. How many times have you said, tomorrow I'll start? Tomorrow I'll change? Tomorrow I'll commit? And how many times did tomorrow come and nothing changed? Tomorrow is the oldest lie you tell yourself. Stop believing it. Be that person who acts today. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. Most people want to be remembered, but they live like they are forgettable. They live safe. They live small. They live hidden. But that person chooses legacy over comfort. That person lives in a way that echoes. That person chooses impact over invisibility. Legacy is not built in one grand gesture. Legacy is built in daily priorities. Every hour you choose growth, you write your legacy. Every hour you choose courage, you carve your name into eternity. Every hour you waste, you erase yourself. The choice is brutal, but it is yours. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. Look around. The world is full of noise. Distractions scream louder every day. But silence is where destiny is built. That person knows how to shut the door. That person knows how to build in the dark. That person knows success is not about showing the world what you will do. Success is about showing the world what you did after years of hidden work. Most people chase applause. That person chases purpose. Most people want comfort. That person wants growth. Most people want excuses. That person wants excellence. Who will you be? You don't have time? You don't have priorities. Right now someone else is building. Right now someone else is training. Right now someone else is creating. And when the day comes, when the lights turn on, when the world is watching, they will rise. And you will wonder why you didn't. The truth? They had the same hours as you. They just had different priorities. Most people think their problem is lack of time. The real problem is lack of honesty. Be honest about what you value. Be honest about what you choose. Be honest about what you are wasting. Honesty is painful, but honesty is power. Here's a quotable line for you: excuses sound best to the person who makes them. Stop making them. Stop believing them. Start replacing them with priorities. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. This is the climax. This is the fire. This is the moment you stop running from the mirror. Stop saying, "I don't have time." Stop pretending life is unfair. Stop waiting for more hours. Stop lying to yourself. Start telling the truth. Start choosing the priorities that matter. Start becoming the person you were meant to be. Most people hear this and feel guilty. That person hears this and feels empowered. Because guilt looks backward, but power looks forward. Don't look back. Don't count wasted hours. Don't drown in regret. Look forward. Count the minutes you still own. And fight for them like your life depends on it. Because it does. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. Imagine yourself 5 years from now. Who do you see? Do you see the person who wasted time? Or the person who built, who grew, who rose? The answer is written in the choices you make tonight. Not tomorrow. Tonight. The person you will be in 5 years is created in the next 5 minutes. Be that person today. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Today. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. This is your wake-up call. This is your line in the sand. This is your chance to live like time is sacred. To live like priorities are power. To live like every hour is a vote for the person you will become. Don't waste the vote. Don't waste the hour. Don't waste your life. And here is the final quotable line. Be that person today, not tomorrow. Say it again. Be that person today, not tomorrow. You don't have time? You don't have priorities. But now you know the truth. And truth demands a response. Choose. Decide. Act. Because one day you will run out of time. But today, right now, you still have it. And if you give it to priorities, you give it to destiny. Be that person today, not tomorrow.